Sometimes I really hate teaching middle school. I had this awesome idea for a school-wide competition that I got from Mrs. Bench for iReady. We're going to call it Meet It or Beat It, as in meet the score that you got before or go higher than what you got before. And someone at the school was like, that title is not going to work with our middle school children, so now I have to change it.
Ellie, my 8-year-old, had surgery yesterday. Usually I'm on here talking about Kennedy, but I guess it's Ellie's turn. Ellie had a very bad ear infection back in January, ruptured her eardrum. We took her to an ENT. She was finally, cleared. But these last few months, we're noticing like she's having a hard time hearing. TV is really loud, the iPad's really loud, and she keeps itching at her ear. She had to go for a physical to be able to go to school. And I was like, can you check her ear? Because something's going on. Pediatrician referred us to a pediatric ENT. He discovered that Ellie has a polyp in her ear, which is basically just like a mass of tissue. He had to go in and do surgery yesterday to remove it. And he basically said, 90% chance I get this polyp out, we're all good. We didn't talk about the 10%. So unfortunately, my girls were high achievers. We're the 10%. Because when he got this polyp out, he discovered that there was another one behind it. So he thinks that this is something that she could have been born with. It's called cholesteatoma. Might not be pronouncing that right, but usually they discover this when they're newborns because they don't pass their newborn hearing test. But Ellie did pass her hearing test, and she's had other tests since then. So this must be something that has happened within the last couple of months. We're not really sure. He is sending her for a CT scan next week, and then I think he's going to be referring us to a surgeon in Tampa. Might need a little bit more invasive of a surgery, but with everything that we've been through with Kennedy, I'm just like, we're good. We got this. Everything's going to be fine. Ellie was an absolute trooper. She was not really excited about having an IV put in, but luckily they knocked her out before they did that. So she's in a little bit of pain. She didn't go to school today. I think we'll be back to school on Monday, but I will keep you all updated.
All right, this is done and print. Print. The tech guy was seriously just here for this. Why is this not printing? Seriously, again, like what is your problem? Why can't you just print? You have paper. There's no paper. Oh, I broke a nail. Are you okay, Gina? Fine. You just need a pencil. Right, just. Okay, I'm ready. There, okay. Sorry.
Oh, do you think I have time for this?
Yes, you have time for this.
No, I don't.
Rating the answers I give my new students when they ask, are you that teacher from TikTok? TikTok? What, you want to know what time it is? I don't wear a watch. Sorry. 5 out of 10. It's funny, but it's not very original. I don't do autographs, please. 7 out of 10. It basically answers their question and also lets them know I'm pretty legit. No, that's not me. She really do look like me, though. She really do look like me. But that's not me. Quoting a popular TikTok while basically telling them I'm not on TikTok, that's a 10 out of 10.
We're going to need it televised or at least streaming. That's all I'm saying. I mean, millions of us got up at the butt crack of dawn to watch the royal wedding. We would probably stay up all night for this.
Am I the advocate or the asshole? So this is Kennedy. You all know and love her. She just started middle school this past year, and so far it's been a pretty good transition. But she let me know the other day that there are 2 boys in one of her classes who have been teasing her relentlessly about something that she did when she tried to kill a fly. She doesn't think it's funny. They keep doing it. She's asked them multiple times to stop. For her to even tell me about this, I know that this is something that's bothering her. She was almost in tears. So I emailed her teacher and asked for a seat change, which Kennedy wanted me to do. Now, fast forward a few days later, it's open house. And
Kennedy lets me know while we're following her schedule that there's the boy with his parents, one of the boys who's been making fun of her. I said, do you want me to say something? Now, regardless of how I might come off on social media, I am not a confrontational person. So I was very nervous. I think I blacked out a little bit, but I did confront this boy's parents. Basically just went up, introduced myself, and I said, I just want to let you know that your boy and another boy in this class have been making fun of my daughter every day to the point of where she had to ask for a new seat. And if this were my kid, I would want to know. So I just wanted to let you know. No drama, but again, if this were my kid, I'd want to know. So I feel like I did the right thing, but now that I think about it, I'm like, should I have just let it go? Like, there's going to be a lot of asshole kids that are going to give Kennedy problems. Middle schoolers are assholes. Kennedy's an asshole from time to time, believe it or not. Did I cross a line, or was I advocating for my child by letting these parents know?
It's not fair. It's not fair. Look, do you see all of these grays? Everywhere where my hair is growing in is gray. I know I'm almost 40, okay? I'm going to be 40 in January. But, like, I've had crow's feet since I was 20. Like, can't I get a break on something when it comes to aging?
A student planned to unalive me while I was their teacher. I'll tell you all about it while we make chicken meatballs. Let's get into it. This recipe is so easy and delicious. It is one of my husband's absolute favorites. So to start, we're going to add 1 pound of ground chicken to our mixing bowl. The day started out like any other.
I have an Ellie update, and it's not quite what you expect. So she went for her ear surgery. Everything went great. But Monday, she decided to scare the absolute living crap out of us because I was getting her ready for school, brushing her hair. We're standing at the counter, and I tighten the elastic, and all of a sudden, she just goes completely down, like face first onto the counter, completely passed out. I get her to the floor. Her eyes are rolling in the back of her head. I don't know if she's having a seizure, what's going on. I'm like shaking her. I'm yelling her name. She's not responding. So I call 911, and pretty much right when they answer, she comes to and she's like, I just fell asleep. I'm like, no, baby, that was not falling asleep. Like, we need to have you looked at. So ambulance came, they took us to the hospital, and we were admitted. They kept us overnight, and they ran every test known to man. She had like 4 EKGs, which is where they look at your heart. She had an echo of her heart. She had a CT scan of her brain. She had an EEG, which is where they hook up all these crazy wires to your head to look at your brain activity, specifically looking for like seizure activity. She also had an MRI, which we requested because everything was coming back normal. So basically, they think this is just like a one-off. She just passed out. Did y'all know that that's a thing, that people who are doing their hair just pass out? I shared about this on my other channels, and I had a lot of comments about how either themselves or people that they know have this disorder where they will pass out from brushing their hair or having their hair done. This has never happened with Ellie before. I really, really hope that that's not the case because she loves doing her hair. So we'll see. But everything came back totally normal, perfect. She is still off of school. They want her to go back tomorrow, but she can't do like PE, recess, any of that stuff. I thought this was somehow related to her ear. She just had the ear surgery, and the doctor said no. And in fact, he looked at the CAT scan that the hospital did and said she doesn't even have cholesteatoma, which is what they thought that she had because she has these polyps. So he really has no idea how she even got this polyp. And he's thinking that she must have stuck something in her ear and it just like went unnoticed and didn't bother her. And the tissue just like formed a polyp around it. If you knew Ellie when she was a toddler, this makes perfect sense because she was constantly doing stuff like this, and she's the only time I've ever had to call poison control, which was on Ellie. So it's very, very possible. And we love our pediatricians that we've had over the years, but I've come to notice that they're just not as knowledgeable with ear stuff as like an actual ENT because that's their field. So I think that's part of why this also kind of went unnoticed. So that's the scoop. That's what's been going on. Part of me is wondering if I overreacted with calling 911, but I have PTSD. I mean, just everything that has happened with Kennedy, when it comes to medical stuff, I just don't take anything lightly anymore. Everything is like worst case scenario now. And, I don't think I'm like a hypochondriac, but I'm glad that I took her. I'm glad we had all of these tests done. They did say if this happens again, and it's not related to like hair brushing, that basically we need to take her to a cardiologist and they want to hook her up to a heart monitor that she would wear for like 24/7 for, a month or something like that. So hopefully it doesn't come to that. Still a little bit nervous, kind of on edge. I really just wish that my kids would just calm down and stop trying to kill me. So hopefully things can kind of be a little bit normal for a while. But as always, I will keep you updated.
No, ew. I just want the spray.
Yeah. You just want the canned Walmart spray.
Yeah.
Like, they can reach and throws. Like, give me the canned Walmart spray. It's so much better.
Thank you, chef.
Worse.
Okay, just set it like right here.
Where's your...
Right here. Right here. Right. Thank you. When you teach middle school, that actually makes perfect sense. Middle schoolers are more dangerous than alligators.